Good evening, ladies and gents. How are we all doing? I hope we all good. I just thought let me do a quick recap today. Let's speak on US 30. We're going to speak on the daily bias, the 1 hour time frame Thetan EMA and 200 EMA, the M15 patterns, 3 minute market structure shifts, pin bar candles, and the Thetan EMA as well. So to kickstart, we're just going to start with the daily time frame. So as we always say on the daily, you want to check what's happening, what's your bias, where is your price in relation to the 13 EMA. So if you look at the beginning of the month, we just started off being bearish. So we've been bearish for the longest time with no other interaction with the 13 EMA. So when we came to the charts today, we realized that last week, the last 2 days gave us this price action. We also had this particular liquidity sweep to the far left, and we were open to getting a retracement back into the 13 EMA. So that gave us a bullish bias. So jumping straight to H1, what do we look for when we come to H1? When we come to H1, we start to look for market structure. Market structure, I'll just speak on what we are looking at right now. This is the 1 hour time frame, and this was last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. This is the weekend. This is today, Monday. So from last week, you can see that we had a bearish order flow. Price was creating lower lows and lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, liquidity sweep right there. Another lower low, lower high, almost equal lows, lower high, lower low. Then from this level, now we had the first break of a structure here, which happened on Friday. So after this, today, what we're looking for now is for price to now show us that we actually are reversing. So how do we see that? The first thing we want to look at is we are looking at the break of this particular structure, which is the next high you see. So if price breaks that high there, it's now showing a different market structure. So now we've got a higher high, a higher low. Okay, let me just start it off here. We got this lowest low here, price pushed, created a bit of a higher low here. Then we pushed up, created a higher high than this one. Pushed down, created a higher low. Then we were anticipating this leg to push up today to give us that next higher high. And we're also looking forward for price to get back towards the 200 EMA, which is almost the 13 EMA on the daily time frame. So this 200 EMA was our draw on liquidity. Basically, we were aiming for price to come around this area or come anywhere within this week of this particular candle here, which was last week, Wednesday. So H1, again, you need to confirm that your price is trading above the 13 EMA just to give you that confirmation of the bullish bias. So after we confirmed these two things, next thing we do is we came to the M15. So here, the first time frame I want to mark is the 1530 move, which is 1330 on this broker. This is the stock market open, 1330 GMT plus 2, sorry, 1530 GMT plus 2, 3:30 p.m. GMT plus 2, South African time. This is 1:30 on this particular broker, excuse me. So when we came in the afternoon, you can see I had marked, we actually executed a buy which didn't expand. At this point, price failed to expand up. So we simply decided to wait for the PM session. So always know that if you fail to get a clean trade during New York session, you can always get a trade in the PM session or in the New York afternoon session. So looking to our left, maybe somebody might have caught this particular move, which is still perfect, but on our side, personally, I did not catch that move. So while we're waiting for the PM session, the next thing you want to look for is any form of a liquidity sweep. So here with this week, which was the initial entry trigger for the stock market open, price failed to take it out. So I considered that the liquidity sweep. So the only thing I wanted to see was for price to keep hugging the 13 EMA and to wait for my PM session Killzone to actually look for the pattern to buy. So just to mark the 7 p.m. GMT plus 2 trade on this broker, it's 5 p.m., but the trading time is 7 p.m. GMT plus 2. So at 7 p.m., if we zoom in, you will see that we were taking off nicely from the 13 EMA here. So I was open to taking that buy. So coming to the 3-minute time frame, which is my entry time frame. So you can see this was the 7 p.m. candle. This is where now we start to be active. So if I look to my left, I need to locate a liquidity sweep, right? Liquidity sweep, let me actually use this. So I need to locate a liquidity sweep. That's the first thing. I need to locate a market structure shift, which is MSS. So these things I've already locked in my bias. Once I've locked in my bias, I'm no longer looking for anything else showing me bias. The only thing I'm looking for is these things now. I'm looking forward for a liquidity sweep, market structure shift, and a retracement into either an OB or an imbalance, which is a fair value gap, or sometimes equal lows or a 13 EMA retest with a nameable candle. If I see these things lining up together, it becomes a high probability setup. So on this particular trade, what you see is a 7. We had a nice liquidity sweep to our left. Okay, the pen is running away from me. Okay, we had a nice liquidity sweep right here with a nice pin bar. And we had a market structure shift here. Price retraced into this order block here. Price also retraced into this imbalance here, which was imbalance of fair value gap, which was in line with the order block as well. Price also retraced into the 13 EMA and this zone, this red line you see here, which was the New York open on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just go to H1. Was it the one? Was it the one? No, it was not the one. This was actually a zone from, let's just check on H4 daily. It's a zone from, oh, this zone, this liquidity zone here. You can see that's what price was. It was maintaining that bullish move and staying above that level. So again, on H1, what I wanted to show you guys, if you're trading Btmm, you already know that after a peak formation low has been set, you expect the first push, consolidation, second push. So there is chances, if this is not a trend reset for a continuation down, there is chances that tomorrow we can actually get another sideways move and a third leg pushing up maybe towards the 800 moving average. These are the two possible plays for tomorrow already. But for today, you can already see we also had a 1350 cross and a retest, which is an ID50 or a 50-50 trade, depending with how you understand Btmm. But those are also the concepts you could have used here. We also had a breakout of this level, which is something you could have used as well. But anyways, going back to the 3 minutes, our entry was right at our kill zone time, which was right here. Soon as that candle closes above the 13 EMA, we were in that trade and they pushed up. They broke a structure again here. If you can just zoom in, you see that structure was broken and another retest with another pin bar. So if you were not in this trade, you could have still have entered right here. As long as we are maintaining the type of candlesticks we want to see, we already know we are bullish and we already knew what price was trying to approach, which was the 200 EMA on the H1. So if you come back, you see we eventually got there right at the top. So let me quickly show you guys. Let's see. Not this. Okay. Just want to show you on the results. So it's March 17. Okay, so first things first, always want to show you guys the view. This is what we share in our mentorship community. We usually try to share these setups before they happen, and everybody can catch the trade, depending, of course, if you're trading that particular asset. So you can see this was 6:15, and we had already tried to take a buy, like I mentioned, and it had failed to push up. So here we were like, the push we want to see might happen at 7 p.m. GMT plus 2 onwards. So this was 45 minutes before the actual trading session. Then you can see this here was the first attempt to take the buy, right? We got a nice pin bar here, stop loss below, and we're anticipating that push to happen just after the stock market opened, but price decided to move sideways. So again, you should know that it's not every setup which is going to play out. Some setups will actually take you out like this. So maybe you could say maybe stop loss was too tight, but here for me, the trade actually failed and I actually took a loss on this particular setup, a full loss on this particular trade. So PM session now, this was before PM session as well. We're still looking for the expansion, and you can see all these entries are after we get a pin bar candle, right? So you want to see a pin bar, an engulfing candle, a doji, or an inside bar. So this was me marking out the charts now just after 7. You can see the entry and the fresh 1:3 setup, which was here. This is the main setup with the H1 range at the top here. But within that bigger setup, we still managed to catch a 1:3 inside here. So remember, if you know where your price is going, it becomes a little bit easier to actually catch a trade. So you can see this was me just doing a quick explanation to the guys in the paid mentorship group as well. Just explaining the liquidity sweep, the order blocks, the timing, market structure shift, inside bar, TP 1:300 points, and the H1 200 EMA at the top there. So you can see everything is literally shared before, during, and after. So here, this is where we put in the trade management as well. So we always advise, if your trade moves halfway, you want to scale out on your profits and things like that. So that was the trade. Here you can also see this was also shared in the announcements, which means those even in the free group caught this setup because it was shared there as well. So PM session, no volume based on what we were seeing before, low risk. Then this was the end result, price moving. But right now, I'll actually show you the actual end result. So you can see price actually reached the 200 EMA range, which was at the top here. And I was set up from 7 p.m. GMT plus 2. You can see how it played out, TP 100 points hit. And if you entered before with this particular setup, your trade is almost on TP, and I would advise you to actually collect your profits right now. So I thought, let me do a quick recap. So always remember, if you're trading, you just want to understand where your price is going. Here you can see we combine Btmm concepts and a few ICT concepts and the way I understand price as a whole, just to bring out one combined system which makes us profitable. So this was our trade on US30. We also took a trade which I did not really do a recap on, which was on Euro USD. So I don't think I'll touch on it, but I'll just show you guys right here. Let me see where we took it. I hope I didn't delete it. Okay, there we go. So you can see this was our trade. This actually happened at the stock market open. So initially this was the view, but we did not get a close above this level, but the setup remained valid, so I didn't remove it. So with that same bigger view, we also managed to get another entry right here. You can see here we had a bullish engulfing, which actually the setup actually played out, if I'm not mistaken, or almost, this was reaching the top here, so it did not get to the actual TP, but the main TP was based off the main setup, as you can see. So again, we managed to break Friday's high, and we had another bullish engulfing here, which was another setup within the setups we had. So this one we executed, and we actually got a nice win. So for the PM session, you can see here, I was waiting for a possible continuation to the top side. Although I did not execute it, I was just watching for a potential push. So I just marked it out for this, but here we did not execute. So it wasn't really a loss because nothing was executed here. So I think apart from this, that's all I wanted to share today. I just wanted to mainly share this particular NASDAQ trade, sorry, US 30 trade. So if anyone caught this trade, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you were looking for, because I believe for entries, as traders, we look for different things. So let me know what you were looking at. If you took the US 30 trade today, let me know what you were looking at. If you didn't trade US 30 and you traded something else, let me know what time you traded it and what are your entry criteria when you are trading your setups. Then if you are new here, if you're new to trading, and if you want to join us, join the free community or the paid mentorship, or to get the day trading course, just get in touch. I'll drop a link in the description. Then you guys can just get in touch with us. Otherwise, if you watched until the end, thank you so much for joining. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment. And yeah, let's keep on pushing. It's the third week of March, if I'm not mistaken. We are halfway within the month, so let's keep showing up. Let's see what this month will close up being. So thank you so much for joining. Enjoy the rest of your trading week. Good trading.